All right. Hello and welcome to the Formula Juan podcast. It is I, the brother Carlos, and on the other side of the screen, we have the titular Juan.
Hello, howdy everybody. How's everybody doing?
And we're back after the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. This is getting rough. No, I mean the race was really good, and I think if you were a Verstappen fan, you probably had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like if you, I mean he went from 10th to first, then he spun, and then he still won. I mean it's pretty awesome from his side. Like I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but the other thing, it did happen pretty early on. There wasn't like a lot of drama because he was by like lap 40 that he started like in first place, and then he just finished in first place like for like 30 laps. So he's like yeah, it was fun for like the first few laps to see it, but it just happened so quick that like the rest still was kind of at the end because well, once again Ferrari. And
Oh, man. The
and
pain.
yeah, and let me just give you a quick summary of the race because I like the I mean, when I was watching, I was like, okay, wow, Leclerc is actually going fast. It seems like he actually has more pace than Carlos, and then he passed Carlos. I was like, oh damn, like he's actually going quick. He seems like he's actually gonna also be able to pass Russell clean, and then he passed him clean. And I was like, this is awesome. This is amazing. And then I texted you guys. And I said like I sent this meme of like Ferrari just like with the question stuff, trying to think about how do I fuck up Leclerc's strategy. How do I do it? I sent you guys that meme in the middle of the race, and then they fucked up his strategy. Unbelievable. I didn't think it was possible, but they did like the worst possible thing. I like immediately after I said it. It didn't even take him that many laps. I honestly don't understand what they were doing. It
Yeah.
was so bizarre because it's
Let,
like, go ahead.
Now, let's get into the topic here. Just going right into it because I think that's the main topic of conversation of the weekend. We have sections, right? So this one is gonna be called "Let's Criticize Ferrari." That's
Yeah.
it. It's become such a like common thing
Mhm.
that it has to be that like its
But
own thing.
I gotta say that I think we were honestly the originators of this strategy complaint. I said it from like, I mean, I never said it in the pod, but I knew this from like 2 years ago when I was watching them compete back against Hamilton in like 2020 and 2019. Like the strategy department in Ferrari was always like very shaky, and then there was a point where like when Leclerc came in, where it's like just completely bad, like it just completely went to shit. Where like every race I was like, what the fuck is this? What's this strategy? What's happening? And I think it probably has to do with Binotto. Like I think that's my conclusion. I honestly think Binotto has not been a good team manager. I mean, he managed to make the car competitive this year, but he's been so bad in like in strategy and all of
Yep.
this type of calls. And it's like I've been saying it, but then we said it in the pod too. And it's like, look at that. Like whenever there is a relevant decision to be made, you can reliably say that Ferrari is gonna fuck it up. I keep
The,
saying it.
they're just really bad. Like I do give credit to Binotto in the fact that he did build a really fast car,
Yeah.
and probably the way that they developed it was probably really beautiful. And see the entire process of as to how they came up to the conclusion as to like this is the car that we need to make. It was probably really like a work of art. That's probably how they did that.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to like we said, you need the full package. You need to have the car, then you need to have the team and the strategy, and then you need to have the driver. It's like three things. And
Yeah.
and they have the driver. It's like they have the driver and they have the car, but their strategy, they just haven't figured that out. And I actually don't know if Binotto can actually do it. It he has to change his
Yeah.
personality. They have to change the way that they do things right now. They have to accept their own mistakes, and they
Yes.
have to move on and learn from that. But
And and
Ferrari, like, go ahead.
what they also have to do is to acknowledge and like treat like Leclerc well, because I
Yeah,
mean I feel bad for Leclerc because I feel like every time that like he loses or something, like Ferrari just blames him or like doesn't let him like complain or talk badly about the car.
Yeah,
But
dude.
but it's kind of like, bro. I mean, like, yeah, I understand you have like all this pride about your car and everything, but like, I mean, you gotta treat your drivers better. I mean, that's the reason why Verstappen wins, and it's the reason why Hamilton wins, because
Dude,
like,
Hamilton just like talks shit about their team. He said, "Why did you put me in these tires?
yeah,
Why do you do this?" And then they always apologize. And then Verstappen is like when his engine was failing in qualifying, and then he's like, "It's the same fucking issue every time with this engine or with this car." Like he just says it on the radio,
yep.
and the team backs him up. It's like,
The
yeah,
team understands him.
yeah,
They put like people around him that like understand what he's trying to say. They understand like how he reacts and what his attitude is, and they understand that that's how he's gonna communicate information. And
yeah,
like they just adapt to him because they respect him. Like they actually respect him as a driver. Like they want his driver to be the best driver possible. And I think that's what Leclerc needs also. He needs more of that support because I don't see it from Ferrari. Ferrari, I mean, Leclerc looks like absolute garbage every time he loses, and like seems like nobody really is helping him. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
I heard that like he just locked himself after that mistake from last week, and like as soon as he went out of the race. So it was like, I mean, I don't know. I think he needs a little bit more support from the team, and the
Yeah,
team
he needs
also.
support from the team. The team needs to be there for him, and he should be able to talk back to the team and be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Like, really get your shit together." He needs to say that to them and be stern. And I think he's really fast, and he might win a championship just by being nice and everything. But if he wants to be like, a Michael Schumacher and a Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, like,
yeah,
and be out there, like, and as a contender for multiple world championships,
yeah.
he needs to develop that in his personality. Like, really take the team, what is it? Grab it by the reins, and just like then just build it around him.
Exactly.
But I don't know if he has that in him. So like it's a combination of too many things. Binotto doesn't accept mistakes. Like he goes to the press conference and then he says that he was saying like, oh, I don't think we had the pace in the car anyway. So like even though we put the hard tires on, like the pace that we had, it just wasn't what we were looking forward to. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Leclerc was first.
Yeah.
So he had the fastest car. He had the fastest lap after he passed Russell, after he pitted. And then he's just putting fastest lap after fastest lap. And then the moment you put him on hard tires, he lost the race.
Like, I mean, like, for God's sake. I mean, and what I think Leclerc said after is like the thing that like I annoy me the most is that like he said in the radio that like he liked the tires. He wanted to keep longer in the tires. He liked the feeling. He liked the pace. And he thought, like, he said, I want to go as long as I can with this. And so they pitted Max Verstappen. And like Ferrari's like a bumbling idiots. They were like, we got to pit somebody. And then they like came out. They didn't come out quickly enough for Sainz, who they should have pitted. Yes, if you wanted to cover, was it Perez or Verstappen that was already there, then you should have gone fucking with Sainz. Because like he could match the strategy and then keep Leclerc on the A strategy, right? On the main strategy that you guys have, because it's working. The pace is really working. But instead, what do they do? They bumble around. They're like, oh, Sainz went by, so now let's get Leclerc in, put him on the worst tires in the fucking world, which Alpine is evidently struggling with. They're just losing positions like madmen over there. And then they still did it. They put the lead driver on the worst tires possible when like he explicitly said that he wanted to go further with the ones that he had.
They had the interview with Binotto in the middle of the race. And then I like that Martin Brundle, I think, asked him, are you worried or like preoccupied about Max Verstappen's pace? Do you think like he'll compete or anything? And then he's like, no, there's no reason to feel like that. Like he's setting up fast time, but like we're still setting the same time. So there's no reason to worry about it. Yeah. And then like the conversation's over, Max Verstappen pits and they're like, we gotta fucking cover Verstappen.
Yeah.
Like I thought you weren't worried about it, and then they
It's
fucked
such a
it up.
bad call. It's such a bad call. I
There
cannot
was
believe it. I
there
cannot
was
believe
no
it.
reason. Like they started on the medium tires, then you go medium again, which I think they should have gone soft, so they had like both the
Yeah,
compound, the two
exactly.
compounds, and then on the third stint they could have like decided if they could have gone double soft or into a medium. Probably medium soft medium I think would have worked.
I think they were doing medium, and I think they would have gone as long as possible with the mediums to hit it with the soft at the end.
To hit it with the soft at the end, and that was the strategy. That's what happened for Sainz. It worked out just fine, but the thing is that Sainz wasn't as fast as Leclerc.
No.
They got scared with Verstappen pitting.
Yeah.
And they probably thought like the softs are not gonna make, like if we pit, we need to pit Leclerc right now, and the softs are not gonna make it till the end.
Yeah.
So we need to give him hards. And I'm like, what? First of all, your Leclerc pitted like on lap 21, like later than everybody else. Like I think Verstappen did 16 or like he pitted really late on the first stint.
Oh no, on the first stint, yes.
Like he hit like 21 laps there. And then for the second stint, he only did like 16 laps. Yeah. And I'm like, he did less laps on the second stint than in the first one. It's like even so by going medium, the idea is for you to be longer out so you can have the freshest tires at the end. And they didn't even go by that. No. They panicked when Verstappen pitted for whatever reason. So yeah, it's just, I don't know what they were doing. There was no reason.
No, yeah. I mean, and it's so bad. And then I don't know. I thought that the call of pinning him one more time, even after that, of letting him like instead of like ever letting the hards maybe like try to hold, which I mean, like maybe they don't hold, but they don't put you 20 seconds behind either. Like the pit stop.
Whatever computer they had.
Yeah,
the computer probably told them like it is worse if we keep Leclerc on these tires than if we pit him and give him brand new soft tires.
Yeah,
that's how bad their call was. That like they're like, okay, yeah, we fucked up. We're gonna put him on the softs, but like, and that's the issue. They are in the race. They gave Leclerc medium, then hards. Then they realized they fucked up.
Yep.
They put him back onto the softs. And then after they fuck up his race, they go into the media and say like, oh, we didn't make a mistake. Just the pace wasn't there. And I'm like, if you didn't make a mistake, then why did you switch him back into the softs?
Exactly.
Like, why didn't you just leave him out on the hards? Like, what the fuck?
No, that's like the definition of a mistake. You made a horrible blunder in the middle of the game. I mean, it's unbelievable. We keep talking about it. I just can't believe that it keeps happening. I mean, that like I feel like so vindicated that I kept saying that because it's been right all along. That like their strategies are so bad. They're so bad that they've messed up. I mean, this is only this year that they've messed up like Leclerc like 4 times already. But they've also done it in previous years, in 2020 and in 2018 or 19. They did it a bunch of times, and it's just so, and it's actually the reason why Leclerc ended below Sainz last season as well. It's just from like a really poor strategy on Abu Dhabi. Most people forget that because of the whole Verstappen Hamilton. But I mean, that's the reason why he ended up 16th in the championships as opposed to 4th. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I guess there's not that much more to say about it. It's just
there's a lot to say about it. I think the whole podcast is let's criticize Ferrari Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, because well, okay, no, yes, good, let's go on. I mean, the only other topic was like, Russell like probably like getting pole position.
But this is all part of like how bad Ferrari did.
You think so? Like even in the qualifying, you think it was they were to blame?
No, I think the quali was fine. I think George Russell getting pole position, really good, really nice from Russell.
Yeah, I think that was a clean.
That's like a good thing to say. He didn't have the greatest race pace compared to Hamilton.
Actually, I think Hamilton would have had a good chance at the pole position as well. He was always
I,
going faster
Hamilton
than
had
Russell.
a DRS issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But I think if he would have been allowed to go, I think Mercedes would have out qualified Russell with him. They would have gotten pole position with Hamilton, and I think he actually put up on this race had it not been for the DRS issue. Anyways, that's just my take. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I think, well, besides the Russell stuff and the Hamilton, I think the entire podcast is like a let's criticize Ferrari podcast.
It's a fun topic to just to pick on Ferrari because they're so up their own ass sometimes. I mean, it's a great team. You know, it has a lot of history and it's really truly an icon of the sport. Like they're like a symbol of Formula One because it's like pretty much the most notable place that they're racing, and everybody just knows like that they're a beautiful red car. You know, everybody knows that.
Yep.
So it's like I don't know. I think that their own reputations got into their head to the point like that these type of things happen.
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit about like that the Ferrari sort of reputation that they have. Like obviously Ferrari is like the most famous team in Formula One, and like some people say that without Ferrari there is no Formula One.
Yeah.
That's actually why even like when the regulations are going to change and it doesn't favor them, they threaten to leave the sport because they feel like their team is bigger than their sport.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of leverage, a lot of power over Formula One, and I am glad to see that that's slowly not being the case anymore. But they still have a lot of power and a lot of influence. Yeah. Ferrari and in Italy, people are very proud of their team. In Italy, they love Ferrari. Like there are the tifosi.
Yeah, the tifosi.
The Ferrari fans.
Really devoted fans.
Really devoted fans. People all over the world. Like I'm a Ferrari fan, even though like I grew up like and Ferrari was the number one enemy. Yeah. And I'm like, I hate Ferrari, but I want my favorite driver to be there.
to be Ferrari, yeah. It's like because it was. I mean, it's an awesome car. It's an awesome symbol, and it's a great. I don't know. They build a good reputation around it, like legitimately good. So yeah, I think that sort of I don't know gets into their heads.
Yeah, that reputation gets to them because they feel like the team is bigger than anything else. Like they think the team is bigger than Formula One itself, and that's a bad thing. Like I think they've also changed the philosophy because before Ferrari only used to hire Italians. They wouldn't hire anybody outside from Italy. Like if you're not Italian, you cannot be in Ferrari. I think it was like, I understand that you're really proud of your Italian heritage, but you gotta know that like you know, the 10th or the 20th smartest person in Italy is not gonna be the 20th smartest person in the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, you could have 20 like really smart people, or you could have like some of the smartest minds of like anywhere in Europe, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like you will find like geniuses that like will literally work for Ferrari because for one, they can pay well, and for two, because they actually love the company. Like because they love that. And
so go ahead.
But you said, yeah, you said, like they chosen to hire from literally one region only.
I think that's no longer the case anymore.
Yeah, it's no longer the case.
But I think it still is a bonus. Like, you know, when like if there was like a LinkedIn job offer for Ferrari, it's like engineer, you need to have this many years of experience, etc. And then at the end, it's like bonus if you're Italian. I'm pretty sure that's like how it reads. So with that reputation, it is also well known that the media in Italy is really harsh to anybody that thinks that Ferrari is not doing well. If anybody says anything bad about Ferrari, the Italian media will chastise you. You have to love the team no matter what. I think there's a very famous one, but I don't know who it is from. I don't know if it was Alonso, um, or other drivers that have been at Ferrari that like talked poorly about the team, saying like, "Oh, my team made a mistake," and the media just went on them, like, "Oh, like they are criticizing Ferrari." I think also it happened to Vettel. I think there's a couple of articles, if you want to look them up, where Vettel says like the Italian media will crucify you. Like you're not allowed to say anything bad. So, and
Wow.
if you do well, they love you. If you make a mistake, they will forever like put it on the newspapers, on the news, social media. They will rip you a new one, in all of Italy. But like, and then you're like, oh, you can just ignore it. But Ferrari doesn't let you ignore it because they're Italian. They put like even that pressure. They put that pressure to be like, look what they're saying about you. This is your fault. You shouldn't make this mistake. And like they put it on your face so much that you stop worrying about racing. You stop worrying about what matters. You start worrying about what the Italians are saying, and you're no longer a driver at that point. You should be like, what the fuck do I care about what Italy says about this? I'm trying to win a world championship.
Yeah.
And why do you care what the Italy says? Aren't you trying to do the same thing? And for some reason they cannot like separate that. I don't know if it was like the same when Schumacher was there, or if the Schumacher era built them,
Probably started that,
like it started that because Schumacher like made them think that Ferrari was unbeatable, and therefore like now Italy like really holds Ferrari like up in a pedestal, or any driver that drives for Ferrari needs to they don't like, the driver is not in a pedestal. They need to worship, like Ferrari needs to be in the pedestal, and you as a driver need to worship that.
and they've really messed it up. I mean, they were winning reliably, like I think on the 80s, on the 90s, and on the 2000s. I think that they were like winning championships on a regular basis. At least they were always contending for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the last one was Kimi in 2008, right? That was the last time.
2007.
2007. That was the last time that Ferrari won a championship. It's been nearly 15 years. That's like almost like well, it's not almost, it's like a decade and a half when they were like reliably winning like on throughout all of these years. I think that should say something to the team. There should be like we fundamentally started doing something wrong, and maybe we're fundamentally doing something wrong now. I think they need to like I think there's things that legitimately need to change, because
I mean, obviously, I don't know why they started the whole like full Italian thing, because John Todd and Ross Brawn, they're not Italian.
Yeah.
Like when they were there during the Schumacher era, those guys were not Italian. At least as far as I know, John Todd is not Italian.
Doesn't sound, the names don't sound Italian, but I don't know.
John Todd. No, he's French. So John Todd is French, and Ross Brawn, is he German? British. He's British.
That sounds like British, yeah.
So for whatever reason, they decided, oh, we're gonna do it like a full Italian team. And like I understand that like you have like generations, like you had the Schumacher generation and all of those people, and after a while, if you won 5 championships in a row, and you're still competing, and you're like, okay, I dedicated the past 5, 7, 8, maybe 10 years to this team, because Schumacher, I think, moved there on 95. So like if you've been from there from 95 all the way till 2005 after Schumacher's winning, you're like, I've been here 10 years of my life. Maybe it's time to like think of doing something else. I've been with the most successful team in history at that point, and maybe I'm going to retire. So people start losing interest, and maybe there's no more passion of working for the sport because you can't have achieved it all. So people just move on. But you have to like, it has to be a cycle, And same happens with Mercedes. Like I know that Mercedes keep winning on over the past 10 years and they're like just been really good.
Yeah.
But at some point, Toto Wolff is also gonna leave,
It's also gonna retire, yeah.
Yeah, and somebody else has to be there. And just because they're Mercedes doesn't mean that they're always gonna be there. It's the people that make the team.
Yeah, I mean, and Toto is so well, he's still pretty young, but he's also really just like good. Like, I mean, that was an incredible decision. I don't know when he joined the team or when he became the lead of the team for the Mercedes, but I mean, like he's a great business guy and a great like strategist as well. I mean, like he's done with the team like wonders. He literally won the championship or like really helped win the championship in Hamilton. They gave him like a really fast, reliable car, and they really like they try to like comprehend him and be like, you're the best driver. We'll build a car for you, and we'll give you all the support that you need. Tell us how you want to drive. Tell us how you like to talk to the engineers and everything, and then we'll customize this fucking thing for you. And Verstappen, they did the same thing with Verstappen. That's how you that in essence is like the ultimate game of Formula One. Like that is how you win the game. You win the game by understanding like that there's like different components. And at a point, you gotta choose a good driver, a driver that can fucking win these things because it requires skill. And then you build a car around the guy. And Leclerc was in Alfa Romeo back in the day, and the man was fucking putting like Q3 qualifyings on the fucking rain in Brazil. I mean, like he got to Q3 on Alfa Romeo in the rain, like when he was the only one driving in the rain on the last lap.
Yep.
I mean, unbelievable talent that they got. Just fucking trust the guy. Build a fucking car around him and give him good strategies. It's not that hard. I mean, it literally, it's not that hard. Just you make so much money. Buy new fucking engineers from, or like new strategists from like and some European countries. Get the brightest minds around.
And it works like that for every single sport. Like if you want to put it on like American football and you want to look at the Patriots when they had Tom Brady, who was the running back for the Patriots? There was no running back for the Patriots. There were like 5 wide receivers. You had the best wide receivers. I know you had what's his name, Alex Hernandez, was the tight end?
Amendola,
you got Gronkowski. At some point they had Randy Moss. Like they were getting. I think they had Ocho Cinco at some point, or
Ocho Cinco was in there, I think too. Yeah.
So like they just build like, we just gotta give Tom Brady targets.
The fastest guys.
The fastest guys, the people that just know how to catch a ball no matter where he's gonna place it. He's gonna put it in your hands. So like we just need to give him targets, and they build a team around Tom Brady, and they are the most successful fucking American football team of all time. The guys are so fucking good, and Tom Brady is the best American football player in history. If you look at like the NBA with Michael Jordan, the team is built around Michael Jordan. Like you have a Scottie Pippen, which just does everything for Jordan, just assists him the whole time. And then eventually they need a defender because Michael was also like the best defender, and they get him Dennis Rodman. And then Rodman is also very aggressive because the Bulls used to be like a little, I guess physically they weren't like fighters. Like some of the other teams were just like bullies. And Rodman didn't give a shit about that. Rodman was the bully. So they bring Rodman so he can defend Michael and Pippen and everybody. And they build a team around Michael Jordan so they can take him to the championship.
And the man fucking delivered. I mean, like, that's what happens when you trust a good athlete. When you see like raw talent and you're like, yes, I want to exploit that for my team. I wanna make you succeed. That's the fucking game. That's the fucking game.
If you want to do it for like a European sport, like you have Barcelona, when they bring Messi, and they brought Messi to Barcelona. And at the time they brought a couple of people, like they had Iniesta, Suarez, Neymar. Before Neymar, I think Ronaldinho was there for a while. And there was a point where like the team was really good. But then Ronaldinho, which at the time was like considered one, if not the best player in the world.
He was great.
He was partying all the time. And like he's like a partying guy. And then they thought like, we have Messi, who is like the up and coming talent that nobody knows about, and this guy is gonna be like the next Ronaldinho, if not better.
Yeah.
They fucking traded Ronaldinho away to Milan. They was like, we're not gonna, and they left Ronaldinho. They brought Neymar. They brought Suarez. They brought Iniesta. They brought, I forget the last name, the most important one. Anyway, they bring him and they build a team around Messi, and they build. There's like a, if you look it up on YouTube, if you don't know about soccer, they created a way of playing soccer called tiki taka. Which is like, if you play tiki-taka soccer, it's like, it's the most beautiful soccer you've ever seen, which is all about slowly controlling the ball. It's like never letting the opponent take the ball for any reason at all, and then just pass it constantly. Just pass the ball, make them run around, and they practice that every single day, and that was what they did. And they built a team around Messi because Messi knew how to do that, and they became like Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know them for.
And Messi became a legend because of it. You know, like it was like a mutual thing.
Yes,
it's like you know what, when you see like that, like superstar level, you gotta know. I think I was thinking of a different movie, of a good movie to think about this, about what is happening for is Moneyball. That is baseball instead, but it's kind of like the same concept where like you see how the difference like good management on a team actually has on the team. Like you build the team strategically so that like you understand the game, you understand how to win, how to achieve victories, and all of them needs to come from like a management sort of level. And you need to understand what game you're playing, and it just seems like Ferrari haven't understood that approach about, you know, bringing it back to Formula One. Is like it doesn't seem like they comprehend what the game that they are is like that they're playing is. Take Leclerc, just give him everything. Just build a car around him. I mean, what are we doing? Like literally, just build a car around him and don't put him out to dry like this. Don't like put him in shitty strategies. I mean, like support the guy. Give him some assistance, and then buy better or get better strategies. Honestly, for next year, if this problem continues, I'm gonna say it's a forever problem for Ferrari.
Oh, people are saying that Binotto is not gonna be there by the time the summer break is over. I don't think that's true. I think Binotto will end the year with Ferrari, and he might be there next year too.
Yeah,
but dude, the guy is just messing up really hard, and like maybe it's not him. But dude, if you are the team principal, and this happens every weekend, and then you are saying that there's no mistakes being made in each press conference, then it's on you. Whatever is happening in that team, it's on you, dude. Like
exactly. Yeah, you gotta be honest essentially with yourself. That like, no, we're actually doing things wrong, and that there's a lot that needs to be changed. And that you're trying to find like a way to do it. I mean, maybe he doesn't want to admit that in front of the media, but I don't know. The guy is also not giving me vibes. That's really like that. Like I see that like he understands. He kind of sounds like he believes what he's saying. Not like he's like
like he just wants to. He doesn't want to look bad, and I feel like he thinks if he accepts it that he looks bad. And probably it has to do with what we said about maybe the Italian media will also destroy him if he says anything that like they made a mistake. So maybe he's just in like a very tough spot. But dude, somebody's got to be the villain, and if you want to win the championship, it's got to be you. Like Toto is probably happy being the villain as long as Hamilton wins all the championships in the world. Like
exactly,
like right. History will tell like if you were really the villain or not. Horner, I thought Horner has been a villain for me forever.
Yeah, I fucking hate that guy.
Dude, I don't like Christian Horner at all. But I gotta respect what the team that he built for Max Verstappen.
Yeah, so he's a good guy. Like he's been really good for Red Bull. Nothing but like great for Red Bull.
Yes. So yeah, like history will tell if you are like a villain or not. And like I hate Horner, but I'm like the guy is really good. Like
you know what? I feel kind of like that about Toto. You know, when Mercedes is winning and stuff, and then you see a race. And like you kind of like, okay, Mercedes have won a little too much. I want to see somebody else. And then like somebody else wins. And you see like Toto just like lose it and get all angry. That's pretty satisfying too. He's like pretty good. Like fuck you, Toto. Like that's take it. Like it feels good to criticize the guy too. But like the guy always shows up. He delivers. He delivers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he gets angry, and it's a good thing that he gets angry because then things change, things improve. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much it about the Ferrari thing.
So you say that maybe that's everything for the Ferrari saga. No, this whole podcast is a let's criticize Ferrari podcast.
Yeah, let's apparently there is more, right?
Yes.
It's like crazy to me, but let's keep going.
So we talked a lot about like their strategy a little bit, or Binotto. We talked a little bit about like the Italian media and also how they run the team and how they're not building it around Leclerc. But we can talk a little bit about how, like, I know that they threw the race away for Leclerc, but we're gonna really take a look at exactly how bad the call that they made was. Like, I know that we say it's bad, but like I want to go into detail as to how bad it was and like all the knowledge that they had, because I don't know about you, and I think actually in the previous podcasts we said that Hungary is probably a Ferrari 1-2.
Yeah, we said it last week.
Like it has,
like the week before that,
yeah, like Hungary is the best shot. Like Ferrari is just gonna own in this track. It is so obvious that their car is just built for it. And what did they, 4th and 6th? Yep. After starting 2nd and 3rd, and Verstappen started 10th,
yeah,
and then ended 1st. So it's just really bad. So all weekend long, people knew that the hard tires were just not going to be the tire.
Well, horrible. Everybody nobody even wanted to like practice that much with them because they just weren't working.
It's like people were saying like it was like a 1.4 1 second slower than the medium tire. It's like just incredibly slow, hard to warm up. They just weren't working at all. No team could make them work. So we all knew, like even at the beginning of the fucking race, Crofty, the commentator, the guy that is suggesting that teams in the middle of the virtual safety car need to put intermediate tires on, and I'm like, dude, there's not even water. This guy
to start that guy,
like this guy is he's even saying that like nobody's gonna try the hard tires for sure, right? Like the commentator knows. And dude, I don't know if like maybe Ferrari were listening and they're like, oh, if the commentator said we shouldn't try it, and it's that dude, maybe we should try it. Dude, so there's a couple of different calls. Nobody like in Ferrari, the strategy that Ferrari did, it seems that they wanted to do medium, soft. I feel like that was the strategy that they were looking to do, because that's what they committed both Leclerc and Sainz.
Yes,
that's just what we were gonna do.
Right.
So they do that, and the other person that did that same strategy was Lewis Hamilton. I think Hamilton also went medium, softs.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, yeah, because he passed Russell and Sainz at the end.
So like you have, I have it here: Sainz, Leclerc, Hamilton, Latifi also went medium, softs. Oh, but he went double softs.
Oh, yeah.
Medium, softs, and then softs again. So like that was the strategy that you were going. And I don't know why they didn't trust that strategy. Yeah. Like Hamilton did that same strategy and ended second.
Yes, and he ended faster. Like so, like he. I mean, like if he would have been like in a top position, I think he's right. I think they would have competed for a win. No question about it. Like they had that much pace, and Hamilton was actually catching up to Verstappen at the end. A little bit. So I mean,
So
had
like
he
the
been like,
strategy in itself wasn't bad. I think people were complaining that like, oh, they should have started Ferrari on the softs,
Mhm.
but it wasn't a bad strategy. Like Hamilton showed that like it works, and Sainz also showed that the strategy works. But I think the criticism here with Sainz is that he just wasn't as fast as Leclerc was.
yeah,
And they like we said, Ferrari just panics the moment that they see Verstappen coming to the pits and thinking we have to cover Verstappen. Verstappen came into the pits in lap 38 for mediums, and they're like, we need to cover him right now. And I'm like, you don't need to, just stick to your strategy.
yeah,
Why do you have to switch it right now? Like, we all know what it is. For also, Ferrari is the only team that I ever hear on the radio like ask, we are thinking plan D.
Mhm.
What do you like? What do you think? Like, they're always asking the drivers that that's what we're thinking, and I'm like, what happened to plan A, B, C? That now you're going plan D. Like, and then sometimes it's like we're thinking plan E, and I'm like, E. What happened to all the other ones?
How there's so many plans? It's almost like it's
Like,
too many plans.
it's too many. Like, what are you
there's only
doing?
like 2 or 3 tire changes you can make per race. There cannot be that many plans. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
like,
we
do you
could
have to
maybe-
study an entire worksheet? And I'm like, okay, plan A, this, plan B, this, plan C. This. How many plans is there in total? I think there was a race where, like, okay, we're thinking plan F. And I'm like, bro, like, if you're in plan F, something went really bad here.
Bro,
Like,
it's like you have one strategy, an alternate strategy, and maybe an alternate to that. But it's like because you started with some tires, you can only change to a different compound tire. Like there's not. I mean, there's not that many variables from that. You can
like
just a two stop or one stop.
they make it too complicated on themselves. Like, also, like, when it could be like, hey, we're thinking plan A plus 5. So it's like same plan A, but you add 5 laps to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're thinking plan A is this, but plan B is this, but with this many more laps. Plan C is it's like, dude, you are the only team. I don't know if there. I've never heard any other team on the radio go plan D, E, or F. Ferrari is the only one, and also they are the only ones asking the drivers, "Tell me what you think."
Yeah.
It's like, we're thinking plan D. Tell me what you think. Now, like, dude, no.
I mean, I guess it's kind of a way of saying like how much longer do you think you go on these tires? What tires do you want to change to? All of these things, but it's like very complicated. They should just be like they should just ask how are the tires? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, but like, don't even ask. Like, even the clerk is telling you, I'm feeling good on these tires.
Yeah, they did.
So,
yeah.
So, like, just trust the dude. It's like the guy is feeling good in the tires. The times are not dropping. He seems to be going faster.
Yeah.
Perhaps Verstappen came out with a brand new set of tires and he was going like a couple of tenths faster. It doesn't matter. He was gonna have older tires than you. Like, that's the reason you decided to go medium, soft.
You chose this strategy. Probably, I mean, I would hope that you had the idea that other people were gonna be doing other strategies, and that this one was better for that.
Yes.
Like you put trust in this strategy for a reason, and then you abandon it in the middle of the race.
Yes.
Like, what sense? To the detriment and to the advice of your best driver, that I told you, no, I like this tire. I want to be in this tire for longer and as long as I can. And then you also know that like the heart is like the worst thing in the world. Not only because it was in practice and stuff, but you can see the Alpines are like are going backwards.
The Alpines couldn't make it work, and we all knew. We all saw the Alpines, and they probably thought like our car is better. It'll be. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know. It's hubris is what it is.
And like the tires were so bad that Verstappen did a full 360 in the middle of the race to check where Leclerc was.
Like, oh, there he goes. All right.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought he was farther back.
Yeah.
He burnt out his entire rear tires and he was still able to complete the race faster than Leclerc on the medium tires.
Yeah.
So like that's like if the medium tires could last for that long, and imagine how hard the hard tires actually were. There's no way you could have made them work. The whole, I think, I don't know if there was a single person that was watching the race and thought like, that's a good call. Bro, everybody that is like, they're pitting Leclerc and you're like, how many laps are left? They can only put him on softs. There's not enough lap. Like the softs are probably not gonna last that much.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are they pitting him so early? Like he's doing less laps than on his first stint on the mediums. And then they give him the hards and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They threw the race. Everybody saw it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. I mean, maybe they prep something special. Maybe they really have something like on their
like you want to believe them.
and then you come out and it's like, all right, let's make this work. Let's make this work, guys. And immediately like Leclerc is wobbling all over. Like the guy can't fucking get temperature in his tires, and he's just losing places left and right. And
Verstappen passed him twice.
Passed him twice, and Leclerc is actually a really good defender. Even on bad tires, the guy will defend. He couldn't do it. Like he couldn't do it on these tires. They were bad, but they had not prepared anything. They literally like they were clowned. They got clowned by fucking Red Bull. It really is how it feels like. Like they just fucking bumble all over the place, and like they didn't know how to react.
Yeah, and like I don't understand also the reason why, like, if Russell is starting on softs, why do you have to go different from what Russell is doing? Like don't you think that like if you go same strategy, like Verstappen is also starting softs?
Yeah.
So like, dude, you just have to do the same thing. But they started both Ferraris on medium tires. It's like if you want to have an alternate strategy, give the other dude the softs,
Give the other guy, yeah. Said we're gonna try a different strategy. and then put him on a different one. Yeah, it's not that.
Like, but yeah, it's not like Mercedes does it fine. It's like, okay, Russell is at the front, let's put him on softs. Hamilton is at the back, let's put him on mediums.
Exactly.
And they both drivers are doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
What did Perez end up as?
Like fifth or something?
Yeah, fifth.
Like fifth,
and yeah, for both Red Bulls, they both started on softs and they just ended in mediums. Like they don't change their strategy, thinking like, oh, we gotta cover whatever. It's like, dude, just do your strategy, just stick to it.
Or if you think that if you really like don't know which one's gonna be, put the worst driver on like the
one that you think is the worst.
Yeah, the worst, exactly. But I mean, not the worst driver, just the one that qualified the least good.
Yeah.
Just choose that guy and put him on a different strategy that you maybe not think is suboptimal, but that it's close enough that others may be doing it. And then all of a sudden, well, you have at least some winning chances. But if you really didn't like your strategy that much, if you were so in doubt of your own strategy, that you're gonna pit your best driver like in the middle of the race for like immediately jump ship from the strategy, then why are you guys not doing two different strategies then? Like, I mean, it's one way or the other. Either you really love your strategy and want to commit to it, and that's what you're sure of it, or you're not so sure, and then you put the other driver in. I mean, you can't abandon it then. Like, you have to commit now.
Yep. And then it was so bad. Like I said, it was so bad that they even determined if we switch him back to the softs, it's gonna be better than if we just let him keep like driving backwards. So yeah, it's just really bad. I don't know what information they had in comparison to the rest of the field.
They had the same. It's just
so like it's just something that I wanted to like say. Like Mercedes did it like I said, Hamilton did it just like them, and he ended second.
He trusts the strategy.
Yeah, and then like I think Hamilton pitted on lap 19, and then his second stint he carried it all the way to lap 51. Like the guy did, how many laps is that? 32 laps on like the second stint, and Leclerc went from lap 21 to 39, so Leclerc only did 18 laps.
Yep.
18 laps on the second stint, and Hamilton did 32. Like, just to stick to your strategy. Look, Hamilton would have won the race if he would have started first.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't know, and it really did work. The strategy really did work. They're going for the stuff. I think if Ferrari would have trusted it, I think it would have paid off. I mean, yeah, they would have lost track position, but I think Leclerc would have just come back and passed Verstappen.
Yeah, he would have had fresher tires.
at least
He would have
five-
had
at least five.
softer tires, and it
Yes.
wasn't like in a track that like
They wore out like in 5 laps. Yeah, they were
Yes.
gonna last. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe we end up fighting Verstappen and coming behind him, but we trust our driver. But
Yeah.
for some reason, they feel like we shouldn't allow the driver to do that. Dude, the guy is there to race.
Right.
Just let him race and trust him.
The guy's fucking good at it too. Like the
Yeah.
guy's one of the best, if not the best. Well,
Yeah, so-
not the best, but but almost.
So just put him there and let him with like the softer tires. He had softer tires. He's supposed to be faster. Let him fight for position.
Yeah.
Like
So yeah, just come into the strategy.
it's better that you let him fight for position. And okay, we couldn't win it. We got second. But bro, getting 6th, 7th. What did he end up? 6th?
Yeah. 6.
Like getting 6th.
You know which one? You know which one really? A comment that really bothered me afterwards was Sainz saying that I mean, I think with the pace that we have, that this is where we deserve to be today. And I don't know why that just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, no, you ended the wrong way. Like
Yeah.
you ended 4th when you actually should have ended 5th because your teammate got fucked over. And actually Leclerc was a very good candidate to winning the race. So it's not like, oh no, with the strategy and whatever. It's like, no, Sainz, you actually underperformed. Like you didn't do well in this race, and you were lucky you ended up 4th instead of 5th. I mean, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like for some reason, like, I mean, I don't know. Sainz gets like preference in Ferrari, and I don't like it because I don't think he's the best driver or the better driver.
I
But
think
he still feels entitled to it, and I'm like, no. Like just like be consistent and like, you know, if you
I think he's just like saying brainwashed by Binotto, where like Binotto's also saying like, oh, we didn't have the best pace. And I'm like, bro, Leclerc, as soon as he got in front of George Russell, was the fastest car in the track.
yeah.
How can you say that you didn't have the pace?
Mhm.
Like the reason you didn't have the pace is because you fucked him over.
Exactly.
Like so yeah. Okay, with the Ferrari rant out the window, I do want to have the let's criticize the FIA.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 FIA criticisms.
All right.
The first one, it's a little bit of a criticism, but the drivers don't mind it from what I've heard, but I still want to criticize it, which is the water and the drink that the drivers have during a Grand Prix. I think the drivers are allowed to carry like 1 kilogram of liquid. Yeah, I think it's Gatorade or water.
Something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
okay.
sort of drink.
Maybe a sparkling water.
But in order to cut weight, the teams are not putting any water for the drivers. So that's my criticism, where I'm like, should that be mandatory? Like, you cannot sacrifice the driver drink and hydration just because you want to cut the weight. It's not a mandatory thing.
No, but it should be. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know this. I don't know how you found this out, but
it's because in France last week, Hamilton was complaining about it.
That like the drivers weren't getting water.
Hamilton didn't have water in the entire French Grand Prix, and like, remember that like he got on the podium and then like he collapsed. And
He
like,
collapsed?
he didn't collapse. He just lay down on the floor, like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was laying down after the race, yeah, which was
Yeah.
pretty funny actually. So
Yeah.
did you see Hamilton laying down there? Yeah.
So, talking about back on the Ferrari, by the way, Hamilton has now more podiums than Charles Leclerc this season. So,
Oh, damn! What a blow.
So yeah.
Geez, they're blowing this season so hard. Anyways,
Anyway, with that being said, like I think it should be a mandatory thing,
I can agree with that.
but some drivers don't like to drink while they're driving.
Doesn't matter. I feel like this is like, if it's optional and teams won't give drivers their drink, maybe the pressure to not have drinks to drivers, then that's wrong. And yeah, maybe, I mean, you can give your driver whatever they want. They can have water, tea, or whatever the hell they want. If they don't want to drink it, that's fine. But something should be there. Like,
Yeah, I think it should be a mandatory thing. But for example, Hamilton says that he never drinks during a race, and that just in the French Grand Prix was the one time that he wanted to drink and there was no drink. And then Lando Norris says that he really doesn't like to drink, that like the cars just put so many G's on it that it just makes his stomach upset to have liquids during the race. So some drivers don't drink at all. That's why I'm like, should it be mandatory? It feels like some drivers really don't like it.
Don't mind, yeah.
And don't mind not having it. But part of me feels like, I feel like they should have it. You're like in there for like 2 hours, like hour and a half, at least 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Driving. And like, I know that Formula One cars don't have air conditioning, and that they're like open cockpit, whatever, open wheelers. So they do have some ventilation, but it still gets pretty hot in there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like the air is coming in, like, staying there. It's just like they feel a little bit of wind. I mean, I don't assume that it's more than that. So no, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, if your driver doesn't want to drink it, really, I mean, that's fine. But it's only like 1 kilo that like should probably in the car. I mean, like, yeah, you don't want it, but you never know. So I think, I think it should be mandatory, because otherwise, I mean, as long because if you say that like Hamilton elected not to, and like teams are not generally like making the drivers not make this decision, then I think that's fine. I mean, if Hamilton really doesn't want it there, then sure. But yeah, as long as teams have no way of manipulating the drivers into doing it, then I think it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like the teams will always manipulate it. It's like, are you okay if we don't put the kilogram of water there? The driver's gonna be like, no, put it, and say, but you're gonna lose this much. Like, I think they're like, if it's not mandatory, the teams are always gonna look to remove weight from the car.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, sometimes they put like a limit or like a minimum of how much you have to weight. Like for example, you have to weigh like 77 pounds with the chair and stuff. So like at least that amount.
Yeah.
So that, like, they give you an extra room. So like if you want to, like, if your driver wants to get a little bit more muscular, or like
So
yeah, and all that type of thing. So maybe they could include in there. I don't know if it's included or not. I mean, that's a very in-depth question, but yeah.
Yeah, that's my first FIA criticism. My second FIA criticism is something that has been happening in some of the tracks, and it happened in Hungary this weekend, which is the security at the Grand Prix are like fucking people up.
Oh, really? They're beating people?
Yeah, they're beating up people.
Damn.
And apparently it's like a thing that it happens in some European circuits, and for some reason it happens a lot in Hungary. That for whatever reason the securities get like power hungry, and like they close the racetrack, like, or some of the grandstands after some time. It's like, so if you get out, you don't know that they're gonna close it. And then they close them, and then when you're trying to get back in, they're like, it's closed, and they won't let you in. And then, like, if you say something, they beat you up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's allegations that was happening this weekend, and it's like, you pay thousands of dollars to go watch Formula One cars.
Yeah, those are very expensive tickets.
And it's like, dude, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, what do you want me to do?
Bro, I drank too much beer, like that I purchased at your fucking venue. You know,
Yeah.
like I need to use the bathroom, but I'm coming. I fucking bought this chair, asshole. You know, like, it. I mean, that's what the ticket is for. Yeah, that's absolutely bananas. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's been happening, and it just happened like at the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend. So just a criticism, like,
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's the FIA, if I'm gonna be honest. It could be some probably Hungarian internal policies, some governmental things that are happening maybe with their police or something. I mean, I'm not gonna assume that. I don't want to get Hungarian hate. Maybe it's not. Maybe just some weird fad. But yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. So,
yeah,
something seems to be going on. I don't know if the FIA have control over that. If it's constantly happening in Hungary. So
yeah. But for example, if that happens, if your race gets ruined, if like you're spending thousands of dollars, if you get beat up for going to the bathroom, pretty much, it's like, dude, like at least give the people their money back. Like
yeah.
you ruined their experience.
Oh
But
yeah.
the FIA never does that. And same like last year, they didn't give any money back to like the people that went to Spa. And like,
Oh wow.
so like,
Sucks.
it's like, okay, you went to Spa for 4 hours, you got rained on, and then you saw 2 laps of the safety car. So like,
That's booty, dude. That's not good.
like I've gone to like the Formula One race. The ticket was like $1,700. So
Yeesh.
that thing is not cheap, you
No.
know. Uh,
And like, oh, could you imagine like if somebody had like kicked you out and like, or like you went to the bathroom in the middle and like they were like, no, you can't come back. It's past last lap 35. So I'm sorry. Like that would fucking blow.
yep.
Wow. That sucks. I mean, I don't blame Hungarians for being pissed about it. I don't yeah. Again, I don't know if it's the FIA that necessarily responsible, but they should have some policies. I mean, I don't know if it happens in other tracks or some sort of rules for that. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if it's them we should criticize about it, but I feel like at least something needs to be done or addressed, uh, because apparently it's happening. So yeah, that was my criticize the FIA. Okay, and then with that being said, we got to the end of the podcast.
Oh wait, no, I have a topic.
Oh, you
It's
have a topic.
it's not a big topic. It's a little segment. I don't know if I'm gonna start doing it or not, but yeah, I might. It's a news that you might not have heard. Did you actually hear? I only have one news source for this time around. I mean, what's there to
Okay.
did you hear that Hamilton actually is buying into the ownership of the Denver Broncos?
No.
Yeah, actually, it's actually pretty interesting. But he's gonna be joining a group of investors that are trying to purchase the franchise next week, which is pretty interesting. I mean, it's actually kind of strange because he's joining there with like billionaires like the Walton family, the people that own Walmart.
Yeah.
He's joining up with them and like with like four other people, and they're all trying to. I believe they're trying to buy the Denver Broncos, which is pretty interesting. I mean, don't get me
Okay.
wrong. I think it's an excellent investment from Hamilton. Or I honestly, he probably is like, I like football. Can I buy a team? And like, or somebody came to him with like a really good investment. Yeah, they were like, look, Lewis, you could put like some stake into this team. It's probably gonna make you money in the long term.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and
I think
like,
it's a good idea, and I can see Hamilton being like one of the drivers that
mhm.
do that. Uh, I know that usually celebrities get like a lot of offers. It's like, hey, you want to buy this team? Hey, you want to do this? Hey, you
Yeah,
want.
you wanna do
Uh,
spend your money this way.
yeah, I feel like for the most part, it never works. Like, there's celebrities, all the celebrities, as far as I know, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Cara Delevingne, Hamilton as well. They were all at some point convinced by somebody that they needed to buy an apartment in Tribeca in New York City, and they all bought it, and they all sold it years later, and they all lost money
They
on
all
that.
lost money.
Yeah. Like they also like they bought an apartment for like $60 million, and then like it goes like they sold an apartment for $40 million. Now, like, dude, that was the same apartment they bought. So So I hope that like when they do it, like that they're doing it because they really want to put
because
an effort into building the team,
yeah.
into like building a brand, into getting somewhere. And it's not just like an investment opportunity that they feel like I'm gonna make even more money here.
Mhm.
Because I feel like if you're investing for like that reason, it's not probably a good investment.
I mean, I think it probably is some of that. I mean, at the end of the day, the people that own the team, they really don't have to manage the team all that much. I think they pay other people to do that.
Yeah.
They just get a lot of revenue for owning it, and that's it. Like you
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure you make some
you,
policies, I'm sure, but
yeah, you have to build a brand as well. You have some say into that,
mhm.
like because if you're gonna make a revenue from the team, it better be a good team or like a good brand. I think the
Yeah.
Denver Broncos is a really good brand.
Mhm.
So
I think so too. Yeah.
yeah,
I think, yeah, like I said, I think it's a really wise thing because it's not like it's investing on like a stock, where like you're like, okay, is this firm performing well? What's their, capital or whatever, like what's the size of their company and how much the revenues and stuff are they increasing, all those things.
yeah,
Uh, but instead it's like, oh no, this is a football team, and
yeah,
like what are the chances that like football disappears tomorrow? It's not. It's just
yeah.
kind of like a permanent investment that like there's always going to be fans for the Denver Broncos, at least in the foreseeable future,
Yeah,
unless something like terrible happens.
The NFL has a lot of teams, but
Yeah.
not all of them are investable, or like at least not like great teams to invest on.
Yeah, like not the Browns.
Now the Browns,
Uh,
I don't know. I'm not trying to throw shade on any of them, but for example, I don't know the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm like, I mean, sure, I know them, but are they like,
but are they gonna win? I mean, they got kind of
or
close.
like, is their brand like really all that famous? Like when you
Mhm.
think of some brands, like you think the Cowboys, you think the Broncos, the Giants,
The
the
Cowboys.
Patriots, people, even the Dolphins.
Hmm.
People, even though the Dolphins are not like the greatest team, but people still like, oh, the Dolphins, the
Yeah,
Niners.
the logo. I don't know.
Uh,
It's maybe something of the logo, the colors, and like the place they represent is kind of like it all makes sense. You know,
yeah. So, but not
like the Packers.
yeah, the Packers, the Steelers, like there are some teams, like there's 32 two of them. There are
Mhm.
some names, but I tell you like a good like 20, maybe 16, like half of them are not all really all that great.
Yeah, they're like whatever. Like for example, I mean, like the LA Rams. I know they just won the Super Bowl. No, actually, I don't take that back about the LA Rams. I mean, they went from being in St. Louis to being in Los Angeles. But I think now
Yeah.
that they won a Super Bowl, nobody's like complained that
Like
happened.
the Bills. It's like okay. The Lions. Like I know these teams, but
Yeah.
they're not like known internationally.
No, but they do have like a brand. You actually did you know that Daniel Ricciardo, like he feels like an honorary American, from Texas, but he actually is a huge fan of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Who
Because
knew? Who knew? I don't know why the Buffalo Bills, but I think he is a fan of the Buffalo Bills.
yeah.
So
Pierre
that proves.
Gasly is a fan of the New York Giants.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
that one I didn't know. Although I think I did see like a picture of him in like the
Like
stadium.
sure. He had the shirt on.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. That was everything. It was just news that you may have not heard about
We can
Hamilton.
probably make its own podcast.
Yeah, maybe. Or just talk about it for a little bit. That's fine too.
Okay. So now we're at the end of the podcast.
All right.
We're gonna rate the drivers. At some point, I have to go look back as to what we rated them before and average the scores as opposed
Hmm.
to the current system.
Take your
But
time. Keep him in suspense.
yeah. So we're gonna start with Verstappen.
Verstappen gets a 5 out of 5. I mean, this was an awesome performance. Again, if you're a Verstappen fan, you probably really enjoy this. I mean, again, it happened so quick though. Like it happened in the first like 40 something laps. That is no, maybe even less than that. That like I mean, maybe it kind of lost his shine, but it's still like 10th to first. Pretty good. So
Yeah. Perez.
Perez, pretty bad actually. Like, what was that guy? Where was him this weekend? I mean,
He
he
started
was
11th and then he ended 5th.
yeah. I mean, and there you see the difference between a Perez and a Verstappen. Like, why did that happen? I think they were on the same strategy actually.
Yeah, they had the
Why is
same exact strategy.
yeah, why is Perez not going faster than Verstappen? For all those people that say like, oh, Perez is the one that like Perez could be winning the championship if Red Bull let him. It's like, no. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in result. The guy is just not as fast. It's hard pill to swallow. The guy is like incredibly good defender and a great teammate. But at the end of the day, Verstappen is still out driving the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Just like he did with Albon and Gasly, like he's in the same frame. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just Verstappen is fast and the car is for him. But in any case, I'm gonna give Perez I want to say a 3. I'm not giving it a 3.
Okay.
Could have been lower, but it's fine.
Leclerc.
So I don't know. It's difficult because he was doing so good and then he got fucked over. And he's like, how do you show that he was doing good? How do you prove it? But I think it was a solid performance. I'm gonna give him a 4.5 or a 4, maybe 4.5. I think he was on his way to winning that race otherwise.
I think so. Like everybody and their mothers know that like Leclerc drove the best he could.
Exactly.
And like he was driving really well the whole time. And it wasn't until they gave him the hard tires that
Yeah, and he was making clean passes.
Yeah.
He was improving his time. All of it. Yeah.
Carlos Sainz.
Sainz did not do good and then blame the team strategy for it. But I mean, he was doing well in qualifying and he out qualified Leclerc, so he did that well. But immediately he lost pace. I'm gonna give him a 4. I think that's as good as I think I can get it to him. I mean, I know I criticized him at the beginning, and because of what he said rubbed me the wrong way, but I think a 4 is fine.
Okay. Hamilton.
Hamilton, awesome drive. Like that was actually an excellent race to just showcase that like Hamilton still got it. The boy can drive. I'm gonna give him a like I could give him a 5 too, but I'm giving him a 4.5. I'll try to not use all of my 5s.
Russell.
Actually, I'm gonna give Hamilton a 5 and Russell a 4.5. I think Hamilton drove that well. I actually don't know how he could have done better. From 7th to second and even past his teammate. I mean, he was on a different strategy, but like he made it work. So that. I mean, that's all there's to say.
Bottas.
Bottas was nowhere. What the hell was Bottas in this race? I don't remember where that man was. I just don't think. I think actually I do remember thinking about this, and I just remember thinking like, oh, the alphas are not as fast this race, so like there wasn't even like a need to see them.
Bottas
he
didn't end
DNF.
the race. Yeah.
DNF. Huh. Okay. Interesting.
He was doing a one stop, a medium into hard.
That's funny. I don't know why. Alfa Romeo is just like trying their thing. That's pretty funny actually. Oh, did I not say? Oh, my bad. Probably I'm gonna say what is it, a 3 maybe? No, yeah, a 3 is fine. I don't know. He wasn't in there.
Just as good as Perez.
Yeah. I assume. I don't know. I mean, it's not that better than Perez. It's just that Perez didn't do well. So I don't know.
But Guanyu.
Same thing. I'm gonna give him a 3. I didn't see him either. I mean, he did. I guess he did okay. It's nothing special. Again, he wasn't in the sprint. What can I do?
Norris.
Norris did pretty good actually. I think I don't think they had more pace than the Alpines. I think actually the Alpines look pretty competitive. But then the Alpines did the hearts, they did the Ferrari strategy, the failing strategy. So I think that paid off well for him, and he was able to get the best of the rest. I'm gonna give him a 4.5. So solid attempt.
Just as good as Leclerc.
Yeah, I mean I think that he's best of the rest.
Okay, Ricciardo.
Oh man, it was. He's just struggling with the car. He doesn't have it. I don't know what's going on. Let's give him I don't know, a 3. I don't know. I just feel bad for Ricardo. I don't want to like give him any. I mean, like I don't think he sucks or anything. I think he's just in a car that doesn't fit him well, and I wish he was in a better car for him.
Ocon.
Ocon. I don't know. Didn't do better than Alonso at any point. Didn't do that bad. 3.5, I think.
They were fighting each other, Alonso and Ocon. And then Ricciardo passed them at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, Ricardo did go into people. Now I remember he did go into people. Let's give him a 2.5. Let's be frank.
Who? Ricardo?
Yeah.
Wait, you gave him a 3.
Yeah, let's give him a 2.5 instead.
3.5?
2.5.
Oh, worse.
Yeah, he did crash into somebody, and it was his fault. I don't remember.
But
who
he
though.
passed both Alpines. He did that sick move.
That was pretty cool. But but where did he end up? He didn't end up in the
like
points.
13.
Yeah. No, 15.
15.
It was a really sick move. I'm probably very very enjoyable for him. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you did crash, and I think that was what ruined his race.
So Ocon?
Ocon 3.5, I think I said.
And Alonso?
Alonso, I don't know. I don't remember how well he did. I mean, I remember that he was going fast. He beat Ocon. I don't know. I'm gonna give him a 4. I think a 4 is fine. He also had qualifying, I think.
Albon.
Albono, I don't know. I don't see him. Oh, 17. I don't know. I'm gonna give him a 3. I same to Latifi, actually. Didn't do that bad. I mean, he's just behind Albon.
Latifi?
Yeah. They just don't stand down in my mind.
So
like
3 and 3?
3 and 3, yeah. I honestly, like, this weekend was so fuzzy. Like, it's like I watched the race and I feel like I didn't like after with the whole Ferrari thing. It's like it's kind of like okay, like I don't remember much else, but gone.
Okay. Magnussen.
K-Mag, I remember that he was doing well, but then again, he was also not in the sprint.
I mean, he was like medium, and then they went hard tires on him.
Oh, he was one of those. Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna give him a 3.
Oh, K-Mag, was he forced to pit? He had a black and
yeah. He got a little injury on his front wing.
he just keeps doing that. I don't know how he got it this time.
Yeah.
But bro, the guy needs to stop tagging his front wing every single race.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, it's happened like twice. It's not happening like every single race, but it is happening more than usual. Like you don't see that many black orange.
It happened to him like in Spain when he went around Hamilton, and then Hamilton took him out. It happened. Where was it happen? It happened last week, I think, in France. No, or before France, I think in Austria. No, it wasn't in Austria. In Canada, I think it was in Canada. In Canada, he went around on the outside of Hamilton on lap 1, and he got tagged again.
Maybe, yeah.
And then, like again here, he just gets tagged in that front wing, and then he has like a black and orange flag. Like,
yeah. It has happened. It's kind of unfortunate because I don't know. Magnussen is actually he's faster than Mick in many ways, and like. He could almost get to the points pretty much every weekend, and then like something happens.
Yeah, but it's his fault every time.
Yeah, it is his fault. It is his fault. I'll give him a 3. Uh,
And then Mick.
Mick, I'm also gonna give a 3. He also ended up out of the points. And he was not more impressive than Nice. So,
Right. Vettel.
I thought Vera was doing well until oh yeah, he outraced Stroll, got a point. It's not much, but it's like I don't know, 3.5.
The Aston Martins are always there, like fighting for 10th place.
Yeah,
And so Vettel, you get a what?
a 3.5.
And then Stroll.
Stroll, I'm gonna give a, I want to say a 3. Yeah, a 3.
Okay.
He didn't crash into anybody, as far as I remember.
And then Gasly.
Oh, I knew you were gonna ask about Gasly and Tsunoda. I also don't remember them. Like that, this is
Oh, Tsunoda had probably the worst race. Dude, Tsunoda was like a lap behind Latifi.
didn't he like
Like,
spin or something?
yeah, after
Oh,
coming out of he had an awful race. I think he's the only driver with like a 2 lap that he was lapped twice.
Oh damn. Oh yeah, he was actually. Wow. No, that actually I don't know what's going on with Yuki lately. I think definitely something's wrong. He's really been off his game. I remember that like AlphaTauri tried to like get him like a counselor or something, like
Yeah,
they want to help him
but
with his
also
safety.
Gasly. Gasly's been, I don't know, he disappeared of the face of the earth. Like,
Yeah, and Gasly, who was so, or like in previous seasons, he was so reliably good and like so reliably fast, even with the AlphaTauri. Now it's like he's nowhere, you know.
yeah,
I don't
Gasly and
know.
Tsunoda are just, I don't know.
I mean, I think I see the frustration in Gasly because before he was getting actual results. Now I don't know. I think okay. Let's finish here. There's maybe one more or one more topic maybe that we can talk about.
Okay, so Gasly and Tsunoda.
Oh, 3 and 3. Yeah, I don't have much more than that.
Okay, so who wins the race here? Hamilton
Uh,
or Verstappen?
oh, Verstappen and then Hamilton. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's totally okay.
Okay. Then we have a three-way tie between Norris, Russell, and Leclerc.
Norris, Russell, on Leclerc. Oh, it's actually kind of rough. I don't know. It's kind of like, do you reward Leclerc even though he ended like in the worst position? No, I'm gonna say Leclerc goes first. Then Norris, then Russell. Because I think even though Russell like got pole position, he couldn't keep up the pace, lost it to the Ferraris, or to at least to Leclerc, then lost it to Verstappen, and then lost it to Hamilton. So I think yeah, I don't know. I don't
Then
think
you
it was.
have two-way tie between Sainz and Alonso.
Let's give it to Alonso and then Sainz, because Alonso did better than his teammate.
Then lastly, well, then you have a two-way tie between Ocon and Vettel.
How to wait for the last spot?
No.
Uh hmm. Let's do Vettel then Ocon.
And for the last spot, you have a lot. You have Perez, Bottas, Joe, Albon, Latifi, Magnussen, Schumacher, Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda.
Let's just give it to Perez. Just give him on a position.
Okay. And that's it.
All right. Oh, last thing. How about Vettel retiring?
Yeah, there's a couple of topics. There's the Vettel retiring.
Yeah, and
There's the
the
Piastri
PS3 dilemma. Yeah, I mean,
dilemma, the Alonso to Aston Martin.
yeah, I mean, we probably dedicate its own episode to like future moves, but I thought it was like very bizarre that whole like PS3 to Alpine and then like psych, not really, hasn't
Yeah.
signed anything. I honestly think that like I don't know, it's a huge mistake by Alpine, and it's like it's pretty funny because I mean, what it means is that he probably signed with another team and like he was like egging them on or something, and then they thought
I
that,
mean,
like
I think that the way that so Piastri is an Alpine driver. Like they have a contract with him, they sponsor him and
yeah,
everything. So I think they were assuming that Alonso was gonna stay another year in Alpine, and I think they were trying to help
I
Piastri
see.
go into Williams. I think he was probably gonna replace Latifi.
Mhm.
Um, but like Alpine has the final say as to where Piastri goes. So I think when Alonso decided to leave,
Mhm.
they were like, okay, Piastri's coming.
Yeah.
But Piastri said like, I didn't sign anything.
I didn't agree to any of this.
I didn't agree to you making a statement about this either. And I'm not gonna be in your team for next year. So there must be an actual reason, like a legal reason, because as far as I understand, Alpine are the ones that control where he goes, according to the contract that they have. I
Oh,
don't, I
damn,
don't,
dude.
I don't know if for whatever reason Piastri and probably his management think that like they have some legal ground as to like you're
Yeah.
not gonna decide that. So I think the rumor is that he's probably gonna go to McLaren and replace Ricciardo. And then
Oh, that'd be crazy. That'd be.
Ricardo is gonna drive for McLaren, but for IndyCar.
Oh, I mean, maybe that would be kind of a bummer. But actually, IndyCar is pretty fun nowadays, and the McLaren have like actually a good team. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I do. I don't know one way or the other. I do think that Ricardo feels like he's pretty down. Maybe he doesn't want to do this next year, but until he announces it,
I
then we
mean,
won't know.
Ricardo says that. I mean, he said it at some point a week ago or 2 weeks ago, saying that like he's not gonna retire at the end of the season,
Mhm.
that he's still gonna stay in Formula One in 2023, and that he's gonna drive in Formula One. He said it, but it's to the point that like perhaps he has a contract with McLaren. I think his contract is not up this year. It's up at the end of 2023 with McLaren. So he's probably saying like I'm gonna stay another year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. McLaren might be sacking him before that. Uh,
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see when we see. But yeah,
they always
it
call this
was
like
pretty
the
interesting.
Formula One silly season. Like
uh,
the mid, like the summer break is like when they say like, oh, that's Formula One silly season. It always begins like all the rumors and all this stuff.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, it is kind of like the time of the year where like the like contract negotiations start happening, so or
Yeah.
renegotiations. So, so yeah, well, I don't know. It's just a little thing. It's pretty interesting to at least talk about for a second. It's not huge news in my opinion. I mean, like I know it's all over Formula One, but it's like, eh, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Piastri's cool. Who cares?
Yeah, he's like the next big talent coming in. Like
I want
he's
to
I think
see. I want to see what it is.
he's won Formula 4, Formula 3, and Formula 2 all in his rookie year.
Mm.
Uh
That's very
like
good, actually. That's actually very solid. The part that I don't understand is why he's not driving Formula 2. Like why
he
he's sitting
won it.
out. Yeah, but like why not keep going? Like win it
I
again. I don't know why I don't know why you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I
Because I feel
won it. Like there's nothing else for me. I just gotta go into Formula One now.
right, just so
But
just
there's no spots, so you
ju-
just they're waiting.
but you should just go again. I mean you should just win again in Formula 2 because like you're in pivotal years of your career. So I think like you probably should be
Yeah,
driving as much as possible. They shouldn't get him out of cars. You should put him in more cars so like he's more used to driving.
I don't know if you're not allowed to. Are you? Like maybe
Yeah, just very. I mean, because I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I thought George Russell and maybe Leclerc were like multiple time champions or not? Maybe not.
now under the FIA rules, the reigning Formula 2 champion is not permitted to remain in the series for the following season.
That's crazy. That's not good. You're getting good drivers out of cars. You should keep them in cars. They should be drive because like again, these are pivotal times of your career. It's like playing chess. Like if you remove a player from playing chess, while they're going to college and stuff, a lot of grandmasters said like, oh, if you decide to go to college, you're probably not going to become a grandmaster. Like it's really difficult because you stop thinking about chess, and these are very important moments in your career. I think similar to racing, like you can't take the drivers out of their cars. It really worries me. For example, that year that Albon missed, I was also like really worried. I was like, no, he needs to be driving something, and they put him in some things. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why that's happening. He should be driving something else, at least in my opinion.
I mean,
But
I'm pretty sure he's probably driving something. I know he's testing with Alpine. I think he tested in Austria.
yeah, but that's not. It's not racing.
Yeah, it's not racing, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's really good. There, he's just not allowed to compete after he wins Formula 2. Like,
Yeah.
I think they do it because like what stops a driver from just like winning Formula 2 every single year for 5-10 years? Is like, dude, just move on. Like you won it already. Like go into Formula 1. But the thing is, Formula 1 only has 20 spots.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
uh
All
so
right. All right. Well, I think we can call it there.
yeah, we have less than a minute left. So
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
see you.